Don't ignore it when he's making you feel small in front of people just so that he can boost his own ego. If you wanting to talk about commitment or what you want in the future is pressure to him, then he's not ready for marriage. Men love to spend money on women. When a man has no money, he's always afraid of gold diggers. I don't know, it's weird. Like, what gold? Hi love, welcome back to my channel. Now, since the dating game is kind of a mess right now, before the year ends, you really need to reevaluate your relationship or whatever situation that you're in. So we are going to discuss some few things, and you're going to have to make a decision on whether you want to continue dating bums or you're going to find yourself a good man, Savannah. We are going to talk about some 10 reasons why he's not that into you and he probably won't marry you or doesn't like you. So one of the biggest signs is inconsistency. Like, sometimes he's texting you, sometimes he just disappears for a week. He does not communicate with you. We all have jobs. People are busy in their lives, but that doesn't mean that you cannot communicate, that you're going to be busy and tell the person that you're interested in of your situation. He doesn't communicate with you. You find yourself wondering where he is. He only wants to chat or talk to you on his time. Sometimes as women, let's be for real now, we think we're in a relationship with them, but they don't think the same way. So again, you definitely want to communicate that, like, especially when you're dating, like, have it clear. Are we dating towards getting married? Is this for fun? So that don't waste your time, because that's the thing. Time is the most precious thing that we have, and we don't want to waste it on the wrong person. So if someone is inconsistent with you, just take that as a sign that they are not seeing you as a priority and you should look somewhere else. He avoids talking about commitment. Again, this is not for everybody. If you are someone that actually wants to get married and want to discuss these things, you should definitely see how he reacts. I saw one of my posts was like, if you wanting to talk about commitment and the long-term views or what you want in the future is pressure to him, then he's not ready for marriage. You might as well leave right now, because what do you mean someone wants to stay with you for about 6 months and then start discussing marriage? So, and what if he doesn't want to get married? Then you've wasted like the whole 6 months. Talking about what you want for your future isn't pressure for anyone. It's letting someone know that you're not here to waste your time. And I believe that talking about these type of things should be done while you're starting to date. Because when you're dating, you're not exactly boyfriend and girlfriend. You're getting to know each other. You're getting to know what you want for the future. So you can tell them right there, like, hey, this is what I want. I want to get married within this time frame. And then that way they can honestly just let you know, and then you can leave. This whole thing of just holding on, like, oh, I don't want to scare him away. Like, if you feel like that's going to scare him away, then he's not the one. Because a lot of men that are serious, when you start talking to them about certain things, or even they bring it up, that's a good thing. Then you both know you're not going to waste each other's time. I think we're number 3. Okay, it makes you confused. If you are confused, then the answer is most likely the negative one. Okay, if you're confused whether he likes you or loves you, like, the communication is bizarre. Because when men feel that they love you or they care for you, you will know. You won't have to guess. And sometimes a lot of us have never experienced like true love, so that we don't know. But like, once you find the right person, you never have to guess. You know, like, even though they might be offline the entire day, like, your last thought is that they are probably with someone else, because you know where you stand in the relationship. So you always want to be with someone that's always reassuring you in the way that you want to be reassured, because we all have different love languages, and you should really focus on making sure that those are met in the way that you would want, and because of that, you won't feel confusion. I think we're number 5. I'm not keeping count, but anyway, he finds joy in humiliating you. Your humiliation rituals, I believe they are rituals actually, because what the heck, like, if you find yourself being around friends or family and he always makes fun of you in front of them, like, it always seems like a joke, like, you always feel slighted in a way, like, you can feel it. That's the thing, we have a really strong intuition as ladies, but we love to ignore it. Don't ignore it when he's making you feel small in front of people just so that he can boost his own ego. Really pay close attention to that. He doesn't like you. Okay, he doesn't like you. He sees you as some sort of stepping stone, and you need to get out fast, because behavior like that doesn't even require you to speak about it. All you need to do is leave, because everyone knows. He knows what he's doing. It's not something that he needs to be taught, or maybe he's just some guy who's just oblivious, and then you can talk to him about it and hopefully he starts. But he's the type of guy on your wedding day who'll be doing all types of crazy stuff, and who always embarrass you. He will cheat on you, all that kind of stuff, because he knows you're not going to do anything about it, because he's been testing the waters. The first time he does it, making fun of you in front of people, whatever, making you the butt of the joke, talk about it that same night. Make him feel like, yeah, he really messed up. Because when you leave things like that, it's just gonna grow. It's just gonna grow. You're gonna sit there in that relationship 20 years later, he's still making you a fool. Please be careful of that. It's the worst. I hate that so much, especially when I'm hanging out maybe with my husband's friends and they doing that to their girlfriends. Like, I clock it immediately. And it just shows the dysfunctionality of the relationship. Like, it just shows who wants to get, the points for being the cool person in the relationship, and it's just never very cute. Okay, he never wants to spend money on you. Okay, that's the thing. Men love to spend money on women. When a man has no money, he's always afraid of gold diggers. I don't know, it's weird. Like, what gold? Sir, you have sense. You don't have gold, okay? They're always afraid of being, robbed. And like, you really have nothing. But anyway, what's the first thing that men do when they get money, when they get rich? The ladies on the side, right? Because that is how they show and flaunt their wealth to other men. Obviously, we're not talking your husband or your partner might not have that kind of like millionaire money, but whatever they have, if they're willing to spend it on you in a way that it's not like you owe them, he likes you, yeah, he feels like you're worth it. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're a gold digger, it doesn't mean, but like, they have to spend. That's the thing with men, they want to spend money on things that they care about. So if they're not spending that money on you, who are they spending it on? Right? You see, sometimes you'll be like, yeah, but we love each other and it's 50-50. And when you break up, he marries some girl within 2 months and he's spending all the money that he has on her. Don't fool yourself at all. Money has to be spent on you in order for the man to show you that he cares for you. That is just one of the things that they do. And of course, I don't believe in 50-50. If he's making you do 50-50, he doesn't like you, sweetie. He really does not. Okay, because men love to be providers and love to be the one to take care of everything, especially for the woman that they love. If they get the woman that they desire most, the woman that they dream about, their dream lady, trust me, they're not gonna make them pay. So he's with you right now, you're paying 50-50, and he finally gets to, and you guys break up, and he finally gets to date that model he's always wanted. Do you think he's gonna make her pay 50-50? No, probably not, because he sees you as a stepping stone to get to whomever he actually dreams of. Men aren't gonna make the dream girl pay. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Obviously, when you're married or whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, you can work together in order to build a future for, your life. But the man, he wants to be the main provider. So you need to get yourself a man that wants to be that willingly, right? Willingly. And that's just how he's gonna show you that he values you and loves you. So watch out for that, ladies. Oh yeah, we forgot what number we are, but like, doesn't want to have deep conversation with you. Like, there's only so much you guys talk about. Okay, it's all just I love you, and then what are you eating tonight? Like, the conversation never go further than that. Like, it is a pretty clear thing that a lot of men don't think. They don't want to think. But like, if someone's really interested in you, they want to hear you speak. They don't want to hear themselves speak. They want to know how your mind works. So watch this when you are dating someone. What are your conversations like? Are you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be an interview. It doesn't have to be a weird, like, talk about political issues type of vibe. But like, you should talk about that as well. But like, you need to see if this man is interested in you on a deeper level. Like, he wants to know how you think mentally. He wants to know about your past life. He wants to, get to know you, talk about deeper things and just like surface level things where you feel like you really know each other inside and out. Because if they just want to talk about fluffy things that don't matter, things like, I don't even know what to say, but like things that don't matter, then he's not that into you. You need to reevaluate. And I think this is my last but not least comment, is if they view you as post-curse Eve than Eve before sin came. So if you're not a Christian and you're watching this, I'm sure everybody knows the story of Adam and Eve, right? But going deeper on it, before there was sin in the world and God had created Adam and Eve, they were equal. God thought of them, God created both of them in his image, okay? There was no authority over the next person. And as Christians, we should live as if we're in the Garden of Eden before sin. That is what we should be striving for. So if whomever you want to marry or the guy that you're dating views you and wants to treat you in benefit of the curse that was because of sin, I hope you're really catching what I'm saying here. Because after the sin, the curse was that, you know, the ground that Adam is going to work on is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to make money. Everything on this earth is going to be against him, right? Things are hard. And then for Eve, childbearing, and you shall be under the man, like the submission part, right? And we can see it right now with misogyny in the world. But like, when it comes to you choosing a partner, you should choose a partner that is striving for an Eve before sin, which means an Eve that he sees equally. That means an Eve that is valuable as a human being. You need to find a guy who sees you equal to him, and not in terms of money, but like as a human being, who's gonna treat you like a human being and not some sort of helper or some sort of weak person, because they just want to lean in the curse. But when Jesus came, obviously him dying for us, it means that we get to go back then and strive for that. In other words, check the misogyny on the man, because trust me, honey, you will be exploited in that marriage or in that relationship. You will not be seen, your voice will not be heard, and you really want to check for those signs. Whatever is happening politically, whatever is happening in the world, talk about those things, those situations, whatever is happening to women in the world. You have to know where his head is at, because those things that happen to women or that kind of stuff can happen to you or happen to your daughter, and he might not be as supportive, you know. So you always want to check where he's at with his mind and how he thinks about women, because there are a lot of men who marry women and hate women and hate that women, you know, exist or breathe, you know. Sometimes you might not even see it, but like one day when you're having an argument or fight, he'll literally call you female and tell you to shut your mouth. That is something that you don't want. But anyway, there is absolutely no rush for marriage. I know it's weird coming from me, who got married very, very young. This is why I'm here to tell you, to warn you, to be realistic about this whole thing. For it to be flourishing, to be good, it all depends on what type of man you marry. He's gonna make or break your experience with marriage. So while you're looking for a guy, don't forget to take care of yourself and really put yourself first and not rush into anything, because these men, what did she say? They will leave you in the desert without water. Your own husband will do that. So yeah, I want to be talking about things like this more often. Friendship stuff, you know, relationships. That is where this channel is headed. Also makeup tutorials. I have been off because I was like 8 months pregnant, 9 months pregnant. I was like, I could not do this anymore. But now that my baby is like a month and a few days, I feel like I'm ready to now come on here and do the work, you know, get myself together. This is the first time I've actually had full makeup on since like 3 months. It's actually really crazy. I've not had the time and anything like that, but like I really want to show up for myself as this year ends. I really want to do something for myself, and that is what we're also going to be talking about, how to really show up for yourself, you know, because I don't want to be that channel that's just like men, because at the end of the day, we also have our own lives. There's a lot going on with us women, and I just want to be that vessel so that you can be the best version of yourself. But anyway, hope you guys really enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Bye.